here's Brody Brazil.
In just a second, I'm going to introduce you to some of the fine people behind the product called Xtadium. Maybe you've heard about it, but probably you haven't. And that's what I want to do first in this video, is showcase exactly what this is. But even before that, I need to let you know that to enjoy Xtadium, you're going to need one of these MetaQuest headsets. Now, I did not previously own one of these. Xtadium sent this to me strictly for the purpose of trying out their product and being able to tell you about it. But they're not paying me anything. They're not approving this video before I put it out. They're not telling me exactly what to say here. So everything you're about to see is my own experience and my own perspective and opinion on the Xtadium product, which quite honestly, I think is the future of watching sports. Now, maybe not full-time, but this is a brand new way and avenue of enjoying live sports, or even a game that has been recorded, is being played back on demand. Watching sports in virtual reality is amazing. And there's no way when I show you the clips that I'll be able to do it justice, but I'm going to try and explain this here first. According to Xtadium, how do they describe themselves? As the premier co-watching VR sports hub featuring live, on-demand, and pay-per-view access to the world's most elite sporting events. Let me just remind you that this is available exclusively on the MetaQuest platform. It's free to download. Doesn't cost anything to download. The app does offer some free and some paid sports options right now. There's more to come, I believe, on both fronts. There'll be more free options for you. There'll be more paid options for you in the near future. But they are already partners with TNT, ESPN, Fox Sports, BN, and a lot more properties like UFC as well too. So Xtadium really does have like not even a first step, like a good first 3 steps ahead of anybody and everybody else who might be entering watching sports in VR on a headset. So one of the offerings they have currently on their app is the dunk contest from the recent All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. There's Mac McClung at Chase Center. Is he really going to jump over this Kia? This was me wearing the headset earlier this morning, watching this back. So all the movements, they're so filthy. All the movements are my head movements. Now again, I realize I cannot properly translate this from this video to what it's actually like to put this on and to be immersed in the sporting experience, but this is what happens when you log into the Xtadium app, right? And I'll actually turn around here. This was me like actually moving a full 360. I'm looking around this building, you log into the app, and this is what you see, kind of a control panel there of all the different places you could go. Fox Sports, PSG, NBA TV, DAZN. You can see a lot of options, ESPN, TNT Sports. They're all already in there. I can't wait to see where the cooperation with Xtadium goes. Like here's NASCAR, little wreck at Daytona. This is me watching, like left and right. And imagine all this is like the most giant screen you could ever imagine. You are right there at the checkered flag, or what eventually would be the checkered flag. It's still the white flag. Right? So all the sights and sounds. And I got to say, once you put this on, like I did this in my home office, I feel like I'm somewhere else. It's weird. When I take the headset off, I feel like I've been somewhere. When I put it on, I'm watching sports not at my house. I'm watching sports somewhere else, like actually at the event. Here we are at the United Center. It's the Bulls and Lakers. Former Sacramento King Kevin Huerter hitting triples. I think LeBron's going to try and drive here. But that's the view you have to watch this game from right behind the basket. And it changes. It goes high center court. It'll go to the other side of the arena. It's just an amazing experience. And the thing is I was watching the gameplay there, but you can kind of snoop around and look around, and it's just like you were there. Here we are at Crypto.com Arena, home of the LA Kings, where they just got scored on by the Dallas Stars. Both playoff teams, by the way, in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the TNT broadcast you saw up there, which they do superimpose. It's the audio of the TNT broadcast that goes along. There's a high center ice view, so they do that in basketball too. They change cameras. So it's not like you're just in one fixed position. It does kind of move you around. And I do think this is where there is some room for technology to improve. Maybe this center ice camera could be suspended and a little bit closer, or maybe we're looking down on it just a little bit more. This does feel a little bit far away, but again, it cuts cameras. They are still figuring this out. And you'll hear me talk to two representatives from Xtadium later. I do feel like if 100% of the way there is like the perfect product, right now they might be like 85% of the way there, which is definitely saying something. Let's go across the pond. Let's watch a little soccer. PSG here. They've got to deal with Xtadium. So you get to watch some of their matches. That's kind of a perspective of what it's like right behind the goal. They do have different versions of it. You can see the actual game broadcast, if you just look up, is right on a superimposed screen. So it's a very easy to watch experience. Okay, so if you clicked on ESPN earlier, you would get to like their portion of the app. So I clicked on it. There's the Xtadium logo. Look how quickly that loads. We're right into it, watching Arizona and Kansas on senior day, I think, here at Kansas. You can hear the ESPN broadcast. And it's the whole thing, right? It's the setup. It's the pregame introductions. They show all of this to you during commercial breaks. You're just sitting there like you're a fan. How cool is that? Opening tip-off? We're at center court for that. And again, all the head movements here, all the camera movements are basically me just kind of moving around as I was having this on and looking around. Look at that. Dunk. Really cool perspective, right? And the sound is good too. You don't actually have ear cups over you. The sound comes from the headset. By the way, I think headset technology is bound to improve here too. This is not just something, well, all right, this is a plateau of the headset. Like, I do think they need to get lighter so you can wear them longer. I do think they need to have better fits on your face. Mine fits pretty well, but again, there are a billion different types of face shapes out there. So you really want it to fit your face and be comfortable and black out any outside light. There are some hardware and software things to overcome here, but as it stands right now, Xtadium is a really cool product. And so I want to give you some quick takeaways. Again, you're going to meet two of the very influential people behind Xtadium in just a second, but here are my takeaways before that. Number one, once you've experienced this, once you've tried Xtadium out and you put on that headset and you've watched a couple things, everything else is going to feel a lot different. Like watching this YouTube video right now. I watched some YouTube videos on this MetaQuest headset. I know that's separate from Xtadium, but you can watch it on like a giant movie theater type screen, right? It is amazing what the perspective can do when you put on that headset. So it's the same thing here with Xtadium and sports. Once you've tried this, I'm not going to say you can't go back to watching just a regular old screen. You can and you will, but nothing's going to be as immersive as this. It truly opens up your eyes. And nothing can really describe this until you actually try it. So as much as I'm here bantering for 7 or 8 minutes about the product, like, you can't fully grasp this, trust me, until you actually try it. Xtadium, in my opinion, is definitely ready for prime time. Now, I said earlier, I think there's also room for improvement on just how they go with technology and the things they try and the things that they do well with and the things they get good feedback on, obviously there, but advancement in terms of just the technology and limitations behind the MetaQuest 3 headset. And I know Apple makes a Vision headset, and I think there's even a different, maybe a better version of this headset. But the point is, they're kind of limited by the hardware right now. It's only going to get bigger and better and more instinctive. Instinctual? It's going to go better with your instincts. But the point is here, it's ready for prime time. If this were something that were kind of choppy video and it just didn't load or it didn't feel right or it was jittery, I'd say, you know what, we're just not there yet. The point is, we are there with this right now. And it's only going to get better. So we are past the point of like, maybe you should or shouldn't try it out. No, you should definitely try this out. The last point I want to make here is that I'm curious to see how rights and partnerships go on the media side. Once this becomes super popular, are the leagues going to try and take this over? Like, Meta has a great situation right now. They're leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in providing content and these partnerships. So we'll see where this goes. But I love the fact that Xtadium already has deals with, ESPN, TNT, and Fox alone. Some big heavyweights in the sports landscape. So that's going to be interesting how it all plays out. But Xtadium right now, here in early 2025, they've got a good thing going. I see big things ahead. And as somebody who's worked in sports broadcasting for a very long time, trust me, I know a game changer when I see it. Okay, it's now time to introduce you to some of my new friends. All right, Victor is the co-founder of Xtadium, and Valeria is head of user growth. Pleasure to chat with both of you. Victor, let me start with you. In terms of the technology of what we're witnessing here in producing sports in real time in VR, what is the technology behind this, and what is the challenge behind all this?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting us to have this conversation, Brody.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for about 8 years, and we've faced all sorts of challenges. I will say some of those are a little bit less so today, but then again, like new ones emerge. I would say that there's technological factors that have to do more with the specific form factor of the headset.
Mm-hmm.
And those have to do more with motion to photon latency resolution, and then also just overcoming making it look good enough so that it will like trick you into really believing that you're there.
Right. Well, it does a good job. I mean, I'd never tried this until recently. I was blown away. That's why I wanted to share all this. It is so hard to explain, I feel like, what Xtadium is and the experience it provides unless you put on one of those MetaQuest headsets. It really is hard to describe, isn't it?
Absolutely. So the thing is, it is hard to describe like, just how well, when it's done well,
right.
It really makes you believe that you're there. But the challenge becomes like making it. Let me put it this way. The XR form factor, it doesn't matter which headset you use, of course, MetaQuest, Apple Vision Pro, whatever. It's an amplifier of things.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that if you do it well, it blows you away.
Right.
If you do it wrong, it's going to make you sick.
Right. Okay.
Like physically sick.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that many people have tried out there, something like a roller coaster experience where like someone with a cheap camera went and recorded a roller coaster. That's like the perfect recipe for that person to say, okay, I want nothing else to do with this thing. That's why it's important to like do it very well from the moment of the capture to the moment it reaches people's eyes.
Right. And Valeria, in terms of the user experience, what you're hearing from people, the feedback so far with the Xtadium app and producing live sports, what are the biggest compliments people are giving you? And then maybe if you could, what are some of the things that people say, hey, I like this, but maybe can we do this differently and better?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of room for improvement always, but people are in general really happy about the experience. Like we do have people that are more and more coming back. We have more sports every time, like every single week we have more and more content and more sports, and that makes users want to come back and be like recurrent and faithful to like the app in general.
Yeah.
And a compliment that we get a lot is that feeling of presence, right? So users say like, I could never believe I was seated next to my players. Like literally for the NBA, you're like feeling you're about to go out and play because you're in the bench basically. And that's a feeling that people can't possibly get, even if they pay for a ticket, for a physical ticket to go to the stadium, they can't possibly be there, or they can't be like in the net in a football match or in a different, I don't know. It's a way of making people feel there, and that's of course the biggest compliment we get, the sense of immersion. And also it's interesting to see how people more and more are getting to know about the app, and they're like, how didn't I know this existed?
Right.
Because the app has been around a while now, but now that we're getting more content and more of these, people are getting to know the app more. And of course there's the part where they also say, hey, I love to have more content. I love to have more sports, or I love to have it in other countries, because as of now, Xtadium is only available in the US. So I think those are good problems to have, because it's people saying, listen, I like this and I want more of this.
Absolutely.
And we're addressing that.
I'm right with you on that. And I will say, to your point earlier, I watched a few hockey games. I've watched some of the NBA All-Star festivities, and you put those cameras in places where I'm looking around feeling like, oh, I'm in Chase Center, or I'm in Ball Arena in Denver. I mean, and I've been to these places, and it really blows my mind that I'm sitting on a couch in my home, but all of a sudden, I mentally feel like I'm in a totally different space. You mentioned the offerings that you have right now. Where does that stand? I know a lot of people are just discovering this too. They're saying, okay, is Xtadium a pay service? Is it free? What games can I watch now? What's the emphasis for the future? How do either of you describe where we're at right now with what you offer and what you hope to do eventually?
Well, we're growing and growing every time, every week, as I was saying. At right now, Xtadium is an app that's for free to download for everyone who has a MetaQuest headset. And we want to remove boundaries. So we know already the form factor and the headset itself could be a boundary for people to take the leap and do it and have Xtadium.
Right.
So we want to remove those boundaries. Therefore, Xtadium is a free app. Anyone can get it. And then we have a lot of content that's for free as well. Most of the content that we have is for free, and other contents are under authentication. For example, this weekend we will have the Crown finals in VR, and these are going to be under authentication for Fox Sports. And NBA League Pass, we have all League Pass games every single night under authentication with NBA League Pass. But the live immersive games we have of the NBA are for free. So it's like a mixture of different things that is mostly free, but then we also have some things with authentication.
And you're working on it and you're growing. I think that's the emphasis here, right? No matter what's here today, it's probably going to be more next week, next month, next year. Victor, going back to the experience of this, and a lot of viewers on my YouTube channel, I've made several videos about Xtadum, what Xtadum is. That's different. Like Xtadum is cool, right? You go and sit in kind of an IMAX style theater, right? So that kind of makes sense, but this is maybe similar technology to Xtadum, but it's a totally different experience because of the headset. How do you describe the two?
It's funny that you mentioned. So, will you be surprised to learn that actually we cooperate with Xtadum fairly often?
I mean, it's a great part. I love Xtadum, and I love what you all are doing. So I'm liking where this is going, you know?
Yeah, so what happens is that, Xtadum has this great offering of the dome, right?
Right.
And it's when you look at it from the technical standpoint, it turns out that whatever works for that dome with minimal adjustments works for the VR headset too. You can think of Xtadium as your own personal Xtadum, or you can think of Xtadum as like a large scale bar Xtadium experience. The actually production workflows, we cooperate with them fairly often for many of the I mean mostly NBA, but also like other IP properties like NASCAR and things like that. And the good news for that is that there's also like synergies to be gained whenever we find like spaces where that cooperation can happen. And of course their production quality is amazing. They're one of the best out there. So we're really happy when we get to be able to cooperate together.
How are you doing this technically in terms of providing multiple cameras? Do you guys have to go put cameras in these arenas? How does it work from the technical side?
The cameras that will show you the immersive views, those need to be, let's say, specifically for the purpose of immersive viewing. So it's either us, Xtadum, other great production partners that we work with that do it, and those are more, let's say, more specific for that. But then we can put, as you were saying, we call them the virtual jumbotrons. So you can just like reuse the broadcast. Sometimes we've used like a specific for VR announcers and production. Sometimes we just reuse the TV. And one thing that we are working on to improve more, this is working more with our production partners. It's something that we already have as a technology, which is need to be able to bring it to, for example, NBA. It's give the user freedom to choose. So then you get to choose. Do you want to watch the panoramic?
Right.
Do you want to see it more up close and personal? Do you want to instead watch TV? So we're working on making that available. We've done it in some European events, such as EuroLeague, and we already have it for stuff like when we do the NBA League Pass. Maybe you've seen that. That we have this like all games available of the NBA season, and you can like freely switch between them. Well, we have that same capability for immersive, and then you really feel in control.
I do have to say this, and I'll kind of end it like this is a compliment. If 100% of the way there is like a perfect technology that everybody's loved forever, I feel like what you all have done here is like 85% of the way there. That is some heavy lifting. The product is already great, and I hope you know and understand that. I can't wait to see what the future brings. I also can't wait for like 10 years to happen, and then I go back and watch this video of our conversation saying, remember when we knew this was going to be big? Like I truly feel that right now, and I feel like it's just time and exposure. Those are the only two things that are going to make Xtadium blow up. I really do feel that. So congratulations to both of you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for that, Brody.
Thank you, Brody.